referee clocks in on his watch. And we are off here at Prestige Group Stadium as it goes all the way back to the Boreham back line. Long ball onto that right-hand side, just hangs in the air before it finds Morris, headed forward. Matt Rush gets it back before it finds Abdul Malik. One back into centre by Hartlepool, long ball over the top, dealt with by the back line. And it will just hang for Rush now, just dispossessed. Wasn't able to get it past the a long ball now for Reed. Sliding tackle from Callum Reynolds, the captain for Boreham, would find its way to Ashmore, who managed to clear their lines, but an inch perfect tackle that had to have been there from the skipper for Boreham.
Yeah, really dangerous from Hartlepool. I mean, you can see as soon as they get that ball, they're looking for the long ball after Alex Reed. They won the ball back twice in that passage of play, and both times they went long, they went to Alex Reed. And that second time it appeared to come off, and it required an excellent tackle from the captain Callum Reynolds to deny him a one-on-one with the keeper.
Yeah, absolutely. As Charlie Connell plays it all the way back to his defender in Chris Bush onto the left-hand side now for Samney. He's looking to try and twist turn past Jermaine Francis, still onto his right foot. Decides to play it down the line, trying to find the run of Samney, but it's held up by Floyd. We'll like see that one out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it looked a little bit dangerous from Boreham Wood there. Maybe stood off a little bit, did Jermaine Francis. Let the ball come into the box, but Quogan, again, shielded it fantastically. The ball was just a little bit off. It kind of found its way in between two Boreham Wood players rather than go into one. So, kind of almost indecisive pass there, but Quogan shields it out brilliantly.
There's a long ball sent by Cartwright. Flicked on by Reed, who seems to have took a stray hand to the face there by the captain Callum Reynolds, and that'll be a free kick for Hartlepool just inside Boreham Wood's half of the pitch.
Yeah, we're already seeing a battle between them two. Already today there's going to be a battle between them two.
Both ends of the pitch, both great strikers. And a lot of pace on the wings as well for Boreham Wood, especially through Abdul Malik and Eric Sousa on the left-hand side.
Yeah, we'll have to see how Stoppage and Francis deal with them, obviously. More forward players by trade, but they're going to have to get back today, and their defensive attributes will be tested, I think, against Boreham Wood.
Absolutely, Daly looks to try and step over and take this set piece. One hand up in the air. Daly delivers one into the back post. Headed away by the Boreham Wood back line, and it will fall for the chase of Sharon all the way to Francis, who tries to send it back into the box now, trying to find Reed, but it's headed away by Samney. Trying to be kept alive though by Miley, but a bit of a counter-attacking chance for Boreham Wood now, just held back by Matt Rush onto the right-hand side now. For Jeff King, long ball over the top. Top large meets the header. Jamie Miley just can't get up there. Ball eventually does fall for him for Reed now onto the halfway line. Shove on the back there by, I believe, just Charlie O'Connor. It'll be a free kick for Hartlepool yet again. Similar position from before. Here's Miley, Topolage on the left-hand side now. Just looks to try and cut in. John. Fine. Hartlepool happy to try and recycle around the back now before a long ball sent over the top for Alex Reed, but no trouble with Nathan Ashmore. Happily sees that one out for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that today. A lot of those long balls. We've already said it going up to Alex Reed, and it seems like they're always looking for that run. They were playing it around the back a little bit, obviously just anticipating the run of Alex Reed, which we've seen so far in the 5 games they played this season, and it's appeared to work so far, so why not, you would say?
Yeah, just as the ball now hangs for Foreign. Ball into the centre, finds its way to a Boreham Wood shirt. Tom White before shifting it onto the right-hand side. Another long ball sent all the way over the top, trying to find the run of Rush. He's in a bit of a foot race with Cameron John, the latter of which seemed to just grab onto the shoulder of Rush, and he goes down for a free kick in a quite dangerous area.
Yeah, just Cameron John just leant on him a little bit heavy there. I think he was just a bit behind him, too far behind to lean on him and go shoulder to shoulder with him, so he just dragged him back a little bit, and it is a really dangerous position just on the edge of the box. Just on the outside edge of the box. Looks like it's going to be whipped in here by Jeff King.
Jeff King. Been on loan until January from York City. Can he produce in a set piece here for Boreham Wood? He's got two short options on the edge of the box.
Yeah. Very crowded 6-yard line. Very crowded 6-yard line.
One of them being Eric Sousa as well, and of course that huddle in the centre spot. Whipped in by King into the near post. And he takes a flick off someone's head, but it goes out for a goal kick. But once again, I mean, completely free at the near post there was Callum Reynolds, the skipper. Just goes quite far out in the end, but no one was able to really pick him up at the near post.
Yeah, you could see the idea there though. They were all crowding along that 6-yard line in front of Jay Cartwright. So Harvey Cartwright, sorry. In front of Cartwright. And then obviously he was going to look for one of them. And when the ball came in, the man split off at the front post and at the back post. It happened to go into the front post at this time, backwards flick. Obviously looking for either the corner or another Boreham Wood shirt. It didn't quite come off this time, but I don't think Hartlepool can afford to give them that many chances.
Yeah, absolutely. Just now as the ball finds its way all the way back now for Femi Olasamni. To try and drive forward, past Johnson, ball over the top, met by Coyne, but set one back in the centre once again by Boreham Wood. Lovely run forward by Abdul Malik, twisting and turning before giving out to Eric Sousa. Here's King, looks to try and take a shot on the edge of the box. And that goes quite high in the end, far out for a goal kick.
Yeah, a little higher and it would have been over the stand there. Obviously it just opens up for it on the edge of the box, and you think why not? There's not much pressure from Hartlepool. So again, why not take a shot from there? Obviously you'd expect it to be a little bit better than that. But again, a risky chance to give away for Hartlepool, and I say again, I don't really think I can afford to keep giving these away.
So it's Cartwright to send that goal kick onto that far left side, trying to find Stoppage. In the end, it was headed forward by Jeff King. No one could get on the end of that one, so it will go out for a throw-in for Cameron John to take. Cameron John looks to try and spear it towards that head of Reed. Flicked on, trying to find Johnson, but it's cleared away over the top. Met by Coyne, who sends an equally long ball over the top. Eventually Foot gets dealt with there by Chris Bush. Long ball sent once again. How many times when this mentioned these long balls so far? Here's Cameron John, plays a safe ball back to Cartwright under a bit of pressure from Luke Morris, so he is forced to send that one once more.
Keep it a keeper there. Keep it a keeper. Again, long balls.
Here's Callum Reynolds back to Ashmore under some pressure by the marauding Alex Reed. Sent into the halfway line. Luke Morris trying to hold that ball up. Coyne manages to shrug him off on the touch. And here's James Miles to the right hand side for Jermaine Francis. Lovely ball. Jermaine Francis, he's twisting and turning on that right hand side. Actually, he's just dispossessed there by Eric Sousa, but showing a bit of spark down that right hand side. Jermaine Francis, just like how he's been doing all season since coming in. Coyne does really well there to win the ball. He's going to try and run down that right as well. And he will win a throw in for his troubles.
Yeah, great play there from Hartlepool. It was a snappy little ball out to Jermaine Francis, who found himself pretty free, twisting and turning. Just kind of lost his foot in it at the last minute, got doubled up on and dispossessed. But again, when he's drawing players into him like that, he's freeing up space for other attacking players like Alex Reed. So I'd like to see him continue doing that.
Cartwright looks to try and find Reed again. Ball hangs up in the air before it's met. Looks to try and flick it on. Here's Johnson, headed up to the left hand side now for Stoppage. Johnson trying to run forward, clears it into the right side, hangs in the air. Ashmore just drops it and it's cleared away by Chris Bush. A little bit of calamity in the back there. The ball took a deflection into the box. Ashmore is not the tallest of goalkeepers, just wasn't able to get a hand on that one, and Alex Reed was quite heavily closing him down in the air.
Yeah, it looked like a shot from top of the line initially that came in, bounced around in the box, maybe hit an arm or something. I heard a few appeals from the Hartlepool players, but bounces up for Ashmore, goes to catch it, gets fouled by Reed in the end, who goes up for the header. But it shows that he is willing to challenge the keeper for balls like that. And like you said, Ashmore isn't the biggest goalkeeper, and Reed is a big, physical, fast, pacey guy. So I like to see that from him. I like to see the pressure on the goalkeeper, and it's kind of what we described, making something out of nothing. I think that's how he's going to do it today.
As Tom White looks to try and switch that ball to Jeff King. Lovely touch on the chest. A lot of pressure from Stoppage, who is forced to give it short to O'Connell. It's back in for King now, a bit of tug on the back from Stoppage, who will concede the free kick.
Yeah, it was great pressure from him, running all the way into central midfield from his position. However, he does just give away the foul in the end.
Sosa looks to try and twist and turn out left hand side, tries to take it past Francis, ball into the back post for Luke Norris. And eventually it doesn't find neither the goalkeeper or Luke Norris, and it will go out for a goal kick, much to the protest of Norris, who believes it took a bit of a touch off the keeper.
Yeah, it just went over everyone there. Harvey Cartwright came out for the punch, missed it. Fortunately, the cross was high enough that it also missed the man at the back post, and Boreham couldn't make anything out of that chance. But again, it's a bit of a scare for Hartlepool.
Cartwright, ball back to him again, so he is forced to play it long. Once more trying to find Reed. Eventually, though, goes to Reynolds, heads that one back to Ashmore, who will pick it up. Throws it long out to Ilsamni under a lot of pressure from Jermaine Francis, who was quick to close him down, managed to get it away by Sosa, twist and turn him past one. Still holds up on the left hand side, ball forward now to Abdul Malik before that is cleared away by Nathan Sherrin, who very nearly punched that one out the stadium, but stays in so far.
Yeah, it was really good pressure up Hartlepool's right hand side. Jermaine Francis, again, we talked about what he offers defensively, and he does offer that pressure. He is fast, and he's fast to get back as well, because the kind of problem when you put high pressure on is you often leave gaps at the back, which then will need filling on a counter-attack, and Jermaine Francis can get that pressure on, but he's also quick enough to pull back and get back in his defensive position, closing up those gaps for Hartlepool. So good performance from him so far. He's offered a lot in attack, and he's looked pretty good in the defence as well.
Cartwright looks to try and find Stoppage on the left. Eventually it falls to King, who intercepts it, runs into the halfway line, puts it back across to his left. Onto the right hand side now for Abdul Malik, who's in sort of that Roman role in that final third for Boreham. He's all over the pitch so far. As Bush now tries to play it forward to Ilsamni. Neither of them on the same wavelength, and it is intercepted by Boyne. Tries to play it back foot. He just finds its way free for Miley. Trying to pass it to Johnson, but it's still Miley onto his right foot. I think he was stuck between two belts there with Jamie Miley. Wasn't sure whether to give it out to his left to Johnson or Reed.
A little bit of indecision there. I mean, you could see he was trying to play it to Johnson, and it got intercepted, but it bounced back kindly for him. And then it looked like he was trying to shift it to shoot or play in Reed, but got dispossessed in the end. He got crowded out.
A little bit of combination play on the right hand side of Hartlepool before their long ball does go short. Bush will play it to Abdul Malik for Boreham, onto his left foot. Plays it forward to Norris, who holds the ball up, back to Abdul Malik. Shifting onto the right hand side for Jeff King now. He looks to try and drive forward. He's got plenty of space to do so. Tried to find Abdul Malik with the ball forward, but it's intercepted by John. He will put his foot on the ball and try and find the forward ball. Sam now. Patient play on this left hand side for Eric Sousa now. So he's got Clone to beat and Francis. Plays it short all the way back to the midfield. To Tom White, back to Ilsamni. Forward ball into Abdul Malik now. Found a bit of pocket on that left hand side. Into the box now is Abdul Malik. And that will go out for a goal kick. He done great to find that space in the pocket and take it past with a bit of a flip flop. And into the box he went. Just wasn't able to put that ball back across. There were a few players in the box for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can see Boreham Wood are trying to exploit the wings here. They keep trying to play down the wings. I mean, Hartlepool have put some pretty good pressure to push them back on more occasions than one. But they just got in there. Hartlepool committed 3 players away to the winger, and that allowed the space for Abdul Malik, as he's saying, kind of that wandering position to get in behind. And he's got the pace. Unfortunately, he drove himself to the byline, and he couldn't pick out a play. He just had to put it into Hartlepool's side netting.
As Cartwright's goal kick just went wayward, so possession goes by the way of Boreham Wood. Here's Bush. The defender looks to try and split that ball onto the right hand side, but just waited with power on it, and that got for a throw for Hartlepool.
Yeah.
Halfway inside of their own half.
We've seen Hartlepool try and play the long ball through the centre, but Boreham are trying to play it down those wings like we've just been saying. Unfortunately for them, long ball goes a bit wayward this time, and Cameron John gets the throw in.
King's able to win the ball off of Reed in the aerial. Here's King again. Let's try and play that forward ball to Morris, who holds it up and turns past Boreham. Luke Norris will run forward onto the right hand side now for Rush. Shot taken. And that's a great stop there by Cartwright. It was going straight down his throat, but it was travelling at some pace.
Yeah, a little bit of a lucky boy is Harvey Cartwright. I mean, he obviously had to make the save, but it was right at him. It was brilliant play from Boreham Wood. Just splitting the defence, and then Cameron John had to commit himself towards the ball, which left the space open for Matt Rush to get in behind one-on-one with Harvey Cartwright, but he does make the save, and it goes out for a Boreham Wood corner.
Cheers from the Hartlepool fans as I believe it was Jeff King who was down with injury. He's springing back up though.
Jeff King went down after the challenge from Topolai just at the beginning of that move. Stayed down for the whole move. But he's up now. It looks like he's going to take the corner.
Out swinging corner from Jeff King. Just a bit of a crowd at that back post for Boreham Wood. Sent in short by Jeff King though. And eventually that will fall for Matty Daly, who will clear it and tries to run forward with it, but it's held up by White. Tries to feint past a lot of pressure that's been put on him by Daly. Eventually it goes onto that left hand side for Sousa. Here's White. All over the top, trying to find Rush again, headed by Crone. Met on the floor by Samney, but it's just nipped away from him by Sherrod, who plays the ball forward. Just evaded there by Reed, who just wasn't able to set himself for the pass. We'll play it around the back. Here's Abdul Malik. Looks to try and twist past Topolaj. Eventually plays it back behind him. For O'Connell. Samney. Norris once again has his back towards the goal, who's done plenty of that so far. And here's Samney, who do a bit of a step over, storming forward, ball into the box, headed away by Crone. We'll still have possession just on the edge of Hartlepool's box. Here's Abdul Malik, just tries to run away there from Sherrod. Here's Sousa. Looks to try and cut in onto his right foot. It's still Sousa. Short ball out to Abdul Malik, finds some space to get the shot off. And did take a bit of a deflection.
Yeah, he's looking real dangerous, I will say, for Boreham Wood. Abdul Malik looks like their danger man so far. Gets his shot off in the box there, and honestly, Hartlepool were a little bit lucky that the deflection didn't fall to another Boreham Wood player, because it flashed right across the front of Harvey Cartwright's goal, right through his box. So got away with one there, I would say.
It looked as though they were trying to play for the corner. It looked like he had some sort of space to take the touch and try and get another pass off. But either way, there's a goal kick for Hartlepool, and it will be sent by Cartwright. Flicked on by Reed. Just takes a hit off the defender before it's sent over the top by Norris. Brilliant hold up play to get it on the right hand side, but it's intercepted by John for Hartlepool. Cameron John takes it past one, but eventually concedes the throw in. Brilliant hold up play from Cameron John though. Still waiting for the throw, before it eventually finds its way to Topolaj. Tries to hold up onto the right, but it's intercepted by Boreham Wood. Here's Sousa. Puts his foot on the ball, tries to chip onto the right hand side, but it's intercepted by Jones. But Abdul Malik wins it back. Here's Sousa on the right hand side, back to Abdul Malik. Jeff King on the edge of the box, finds a free Sousa. Brilliant tackle by Cameron John though inside the box. Flicks it forward for Johnson now. Counter-attacking chance for Hartlepool. Ball in for Alex Reed.
Oh, what a superb tackle that was from Samney.
Brilliant cover to get across the body of Alex Reid and plays that back to Ashmore.
Yeah, we know how dangerous Alex Reid is in those positions, so it was really important that Ilishami's just got his toe on that one to take it away from him to get it back to Ashmore. But promising signs from Hartlepool there, and I will say I have been very impressed by Cameron John and Wogan so far. I think they've done a pretty brilliant job, barring maybe a couple of slip-ups where they've overcommitted. Have done a brilliant job at holding up Boreham's front line.
There's a Jeff King now, looks to try and shift onto the right, just goes behind Sousa, so he has to run back to collect it. Bournemouth playing it around themselves now. Here's Bush, here's for White, Abdul Malik now. Wins the free kick, Abdul Malik. I think he took a bit of a nip on his heel from Cameron John. He did protest it. Connell trying to get the free kick quickly. The referee pulls it back though, but the ball was rolling. I think one of the biggest tests for this Hartlepool backline is that when Boreham would get it in their final third, sort of their wingers switch and change what wing they want to be on depending on what side the ball is on, and there's no really real fixed position that final third for their attackers. Just as Johnson now wins it on the edge, onto the left now, tries to get the volley off, and that will fall out once again for a goal kick. It was poor defending from Callum Reynolds, just tried to head it back, it looked like, to Ashmore, just didn't have enough purchase on it, and it did fall for Johnson. Excellent chance for Johnson on the counter-attack. He just sort of took it a bit rashly on the volley.
Absolutely, just kind of lashed at it, sent it way over the crossbar, a little bit wide as well. But back on your point as well, I do understand what you mean about their rotating front line. I mean, they're on the attack now with Matt Rush, but we've not seen Sousa, Rush or White, or even really Abdul Malik playing a fixed position in that Boreham Wood front line. They've been moving all over. I mean, especially if you focus on Quogan, and he's been holding up with Tom White. Every time Tom White gets free of him, he's switching positions, he's trying to get away from him. He's going to the right wing, he's going to the left wing, he's staying in the centre. And I think that is something that is causing Hartlepool a few problems.
Yeah, as Tristan was speaking, there was a ball whipped in by Abdul Malik trying to find Luke Norris. It did eventually get ahead of the way, but it was a great ball in. Just as Boreham would win a free kick halfway inside Hartlepool's half. It was Luke Norris who went down to take it, to concede it even.
Another pretty dangerous position for Boreham Wood to be in. It was Reece McNally there that's just pulled him down. So we'll have to see what comes to this one. I imagine it's going to be whipped into the box much like the other ones.
And once again it will be Jeff King to take this set piece for Boreham Wood. The referee walks a few yards out before here's King on the set piece. Very high line from Hartlepool. Ball whipped into that back post by King. Here's Bush. His header just takes a bit of a deflection off the defender, and Jermaine Francis will stop that from going out, but his shot forward will take a block out for a goal kick. But once again, another dangerous ball, and it was a very high line from Hartlepool.
Yeah, really dangerous. Just gets caught out a little bit by the run of Chris Bush, but there is plenty of pressure on him. Just kind of make sure he can't quite get that header on target. But again, warning signs. If Hartlepool keep giving away free kicks in dangerous areas, then I think it's only a matter of time.
All right, another goal kick of the game. Sends onto that left-hand side, trying to find Alex Reid. Met by the defender though, kept back in by Sherrin, held up by Johnson now. Here's Daly, edge of the box, gives it to Topolage. Topolage onto his left foot, twisting and turning. Eventually concedes it now for Miley, he looks to try and send another one in, takes the nick off the defender, and that will be a corner for Hartlepool.
Yeah, that was great hold-up play from Danny Johnson. Just gets himself over it, gets it, side-foots it down to Topolage, who twists and turns around the edge of the Boreham Wood box, but eventually it gets blocked and it goes out for a Hartlepool corner.
Looks like it'll be Matthew Daly to try and deliver this in-swinging corner. Crowd emerged on that back post, fired into the near. Just couldn't get past that near post. Hung up in the air at the edge of the box though. Flicked on by Abdul Malik, but kept it alive by Johnson. Just isn't able to get that ball forward. Counter-attacking chance for Boreham Wood now. Bit of a fumble before Cameron John's able to find space to run forward. Here's Quarren, Johnson, just on the right, tries to chip it forward for Alex Reid. And here's John to the edge of the box.
Oh, why not? Why not? Just popped up for him on the edge of the box there after Alex Reid was cut off. And it just sails over the bar, hits the stand, comes back in. But again, why not? What a goal that would have been if he had put it on target.
I believe we haven't seen a shot on target so far, but there's been quite a lot on the edge of the box, a lot of half volleys from both sides. Just as that ball forward there takes a nick off the top of Lodge for a throw-in.
Yeah, the closest we've come is Matt Rush. Bobby Cartwright made a save there, straight at him, but that's the closest we've come to a goal. Had a few good chances though.
Ball's held up by Luke Norris. Under a lot of pressure from top of Lodge. Riddle's past him before playing it to his defender. Here's Bush now onto his left foot. Looks to try and send a long ball onto Eriko Sousa. Fouls his touch. Linesman flags up for offside though.
Yeah, ambitious ball that one.
it just sort of hung up in the air for what seemed like
felt like it went a space that.
Aye. There will be a free kick that Cartwright will take. As we're approaching the half-hour mark in today's game, still 0-0 between Hartlepool and Boreham Wood. Cartwright sends that one long. Alex Reid misses the flick, but will still hang on the area edge of the box. Cleared away by King. Taken down by Matt Rush. He'll try and shift on the left-hand side to Abdul Malik, who shows his pace. He runs forward, gives it to Eriko Sousa. Stands the tackle. Here's Luke Norwich on the edge of the box. Tries to curl one. That's a fantastic stop by Cartwright. He's got down low to carve that one out for a corner for Boreham Wood.
Yeah, really good save from Harvey Cartwright there. Again, we're seeing how dangerous Abdul Malik can be. He's just running at pace, plays it to Sousa.
He finds Luke Norwich, yeah, it was a fantastic effort. It was curling. And the team to look to try and find that bottom right corner. A great palmed effort by Cartwright, but it will be a corner for Boreham Wood, and it will be Jeff King to take. Ball played short to Abdul Malik. He's going to try and run into the box now. He's just stood by Mike Daly, who will try and get a counter-attack going, but great defensive play from Abdul Malik to deny it. He goes up for a throw-in.
He's been everywhere this game, hasn't he?
He can't do
You can't get away from him.
John with the throw-in. The referee tells him to get on with it. Down line to Reid, tries to flick it forward, kept alive by Johnson. And eventually falls to Daly, who does try successfully to win the throw-in. Blasts it off the legs of Jeff King. Not that much movement from the throw-in so far from Hartlepool. Eventually it finds its way to Miley, who plays that one all the way back for Quarren. Quarren looks to try and send that long diagonal for Francis. Illisamny wins it. It will be a battle between... And here's one by McNally. Ball down the line to Jermaine Francis now, trying to beat Illisamny. He will just about stand him. His ball forward goes away. And it will be Matty Daly to pick it up. Just inside Boreham Wood's half now. Johnson. McNally, ball in for... Trying to find Reid, but it was a great stop there by Callum Reynolds. Now go out for another corner for Hartlepool. Slowly but surely finding their way into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if that had fallen to Reid, you would have thought it would be Hartlepool going 1-0 up. But Callum Reynolds heads it away for a Hartlepool corner.
Here's Matty Daly with the corner. Daly sends one into the back post. No, was sort of the only place inside the box when there was no player. Going with a bit of a counter-attacking chance now. Abdul Malik. He's got Sousa screaming for it. Decides to feint into the middle of the pitch. Here's White. Space to drive forward. He's got Abdul Malik on his left and he does use him. Chips it past McNally. Tries to get a shot on early on the edge of the box. He just didn't seem to get the right connection on it, and it just goes harmlessly on the deck and out for a goal kick.
I mean, how many times are we going to have to say Abdul Malik's name? He's everywhere for Boreham Wood at the minute. Everything they're doing is going through him. So you think the key to Hartlepool is shutting him down in that midfield and maybe even just sticking a man on him and saying, listen, you don't let this guy out of your sight, you don't let him get away from you, because everything good Boreham Wood are doing is coming through him right now.
Lashmore rolls that one out. Reynolds, here's King, under a lot of pressure from Hartlepool, so Lashmore will send this one long. Trying to find Norris, who will win the header. Flick backwards now for O'Connell. Here's Bush. Samney now, plenty of space to run forward, plays it into Abdul Malik. Just stood there by Croy. Fantastic tackle from him. Ball onto the left-hand side for Topolage. He will try and chase after it. Jeff King, who does hold off the run of Topolage, and I'll go out for a throw-in.
Yeah, it was strong defending there to get it up with Abdul Malik. He does just pick up those pockets of space, and he does need to be shut down. You can't give him so much space. So he was shut down, closed down well there, and dispossessed.
Just as Quinn plays that back to his keeper, chip ball back to him again. Lovely pass there from Cartwright, under a lot of pressure from Boreham Wood though, quite high on the press. Miley finds its way back to the goalkeeper. Hartlepool struggling to sort of get it up the pitch. Happy to try and play it short so far though. Quinn will run forward before shifting out to John. Here's Topolage. Forces the tackle from King, and I'll go out for a throw for Hartlepool. Here's Miley, under a lot of pressure, tries to hold him off, does well to give it out for John. O'Connell putting a lot of pressure on the back of Miley there.
Yeah, Hartlepool really struggling to get out their own half here, and that's what they need to do. Long ball, we've not seen a long ball like that for a little minute from Hartlepool. It was their game plan going into this game from what it looked like, what we saw in the early stages, but kind of died off. They hadn't played one for a while, and then Harvey Cartwright pings it up the field just to relieve a little bit of that pressure, getting them out of their defensive third, because they've spent the last 5 minutes or so in that defensive third under a lot of pressure from Boreham Wood. So just a big long ball, even if it goes out, just relieve a little bit of pressure on their back line.
Just as Boreham would have it on the left, long ball just hangs in the air after Elasamni's kick. Luke Norris isn't able to keep control of it, and it will give possession over to Hartlepool. Here's Topolage onto his left foot, finds Reed on that left wing. Look to try and twist and turn past his man, plays a low ball into the box, held up by Daly. Topolage again now, ball chipped in, headed away by Bush. Only as far as Francis inside the box, who's trying to turn. Francis. McNally. McNally tries to wriggle free, plays the ball into the back post. I'll tell you what, that looked like it was going to sneak into that back post. Ashmore really nowhere near had that one covered, and it will go out for a corner.
Ashmore scrambling across his line there. Loads of crosses into the box by Hartlepool. They recycle the ball very well. When it goes out to one wing, it's put in, goes to the other, put in again, and that time very close to goal. I mean, again, Ashmore scrambling across his line, ends up jumping, diving into the post, in fact, trying to save it, and it goes out for a corner.
Matty Daly with the ball into that back post. A bit of a push on McNally. Bit of a protest on that far stand. Referee sees nothing in it, and that'll go out of play. Ashmore looks to try and take this goal kick with some haste. He does call his defender in Chris Bush though to take this one for him. Bit of a change of mind from Ashmore there. He does decide to take it. Just hung up in the air in the centre spot. No one's there before. Eventually finds the run onto the right hand side now for Francis, but once again that ball just too much power as it goes out for a throw in. Game's died down a bit from that rather hectic opening few minutes. And here's Johnson, just isn't able to get control on that second ball, and now once again go out for a throw in for Boreham Wood. Here's Bush, that's a long throw from him. And Luke Norris with a bit of a shove on the back of, I believe that was Quine. He will win a free kick for Hartlepool. Here's Cartwright. Sends that one long once more for Reed. One in the air by O'Connell. And Eric Sousa will try and run forward for it, but it will find its way for Hartlepool. Here's Jermaine Francis. He runs forward onto his right foot. Jermaine Francis, ball in. There's still danger for them. Just on the edge of the box. Stoppage. Twists and turns. And here's John now. He just finds that stray ball. Here's a Boreham Wood man down. Off he decides to let play on. James Miley tries his luck on the edge of the box before it's eventually cleared away, but there's still danger now. Hartlepool have it via John. John unable to find that forward ball in for Matty Daly. And Boreham Wood will look to try and clear their lines now. Takes another deflection. Here's Miley, wins on the edge of the box. Ball into the back post for Francis. Forced to get played out for a corner by Samney.
Yeah, great passage of play from Hartlepool there, and it comes from all that pressure and the defenders pushing up. It all started when McNally brilliantly kept the ball in, had to do a pretty athletic kick to keep it in, and then they just keep the pressure on. Boreham Wood just can't deal with it. Every time they try and ping it away, it's hitting a Hartlepool shirt. Eventually goes to Cameron John. Tries to put the ball in, hits a Hartlepool shirt. Miley plays it to Francis and they get the corner.
And it will be Matty Dale to take this corner. Referee at the moment will speak to that huddle just on the edge of the box. What can Matty Daly do for his side from the corner here? Raises one arm in the air, motions for that pack in the centre of the box, plays it short instead. Here's Miley. This time he'll whip this one into the back post. He's got McNally arriving. It'll just bounce just behind him. He didn't quite know where the ball was there for a moment, McNally. And that ball from Miley will go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, good ball in from Miley. Like you said, Rhys McNally got his head on it, bounced around, appeared to just lose the ball, couldn't quite locate it, couldn't quite get it. Comes back out, top of line. Plays it forwards. McNally again almost gets onto the end of it to play it back in, but can't quite manage it, and it goes out for a goal kick for Boreham Wood.
Ashmore. His goal kick once kind of stuck in the wind was there. The wind's definitely picked up in this last few minutes of this first half. Eventually it'll fall all the way back to the goalkeeper in Ashmore though, who will throw onto the floor before sending that one long for Luke Norris. It's won by Quine. Sousa. Samney. Played all the way back for Tom White. Shifted onto the right hand side for Jeff King. Ball forward. Try and find Matt Rush, but Linesman's flag is up.
Yeah, just pressuring him on that line there. Couldn't quite keep it in, Matt Rush.
Cartwright will take this free kick again. Cartwright's long ball finds Topolage, who tries to flick it, and it will take a bit of a touch off of Jeff King for a throw-in.
Yeah, Hartlepool putting a lot of pressure on now. They did have that did have that passage of play where they couldn't quite get out of their own defensive third, but now it's kind of the opposite. They're pinning Boreham Wood back in their defensive third, putting a lot of pressure on, but it goes out for a Boreham Wood throw in there under protestation from the Hartlepool players and fans, just relieving a little bit of pressure on their back line.
I think it took a ricochet off both players. Here's King now, look to try and spear this one into the centre, met by Topolage. Miley just isn't able to get a good touch on it, and it will go to Boreham Wood for the possession. Here's Ilasamni. Sousa. Ball into Abdul Malik, just on the edge of the box, twists inside. Back out for Ilasamni. Finds a free. Sousa would manage to meet it with a header, but just didn't have that much pace on it, and it will get caught comfortably by Cartwright.
Yeah, good catch from Cartwright, safe hands. Sosa couldn't quite get the power needed on that header. It just kind of looped over into the hands of Cartwright. There wasn't enough pace on the cross to get away with just kind of flicking it, trying to guide it into the net. So he had to generate the power himself, and he couldn't quite get that. Came off the top of his head and just looped into the gloves of Harvey Cartwright. Another good chance for Boreham Wood, though.
Boreham Wood playing it around the back despite a lot of heavy pressure from the front line of Hartlepool. Lovely twist and turn there by Bush, though. He will just try and find some space before shifting out to Abdul Malik in the centre. He looks to try and run forward. Boreham Wood coming forward with a few players now. Here's Rush. Ilasamni back to Rush again. Falls to Ilasamni though. And here's Sousa. Sosa twisting and turning before trying to find the ball in. Takes the deflection, falls for Abdul Malik. I think he was just a bit wrong-footed before he got the shot off there, and it will just slowly roll out for a goal kick.
Yeah, he didn't expect that, did he? Sosa gets there, he plays the ball in, ricochets off Francis, who comes sliding in to block the ball, and just bounces up to Abdul Malik. He doesn't really expect it, he's running forward, it's bouncing back. He can't quite get over it for the volley. He just kind of limply rolls past Harvey Cartwright's net. But again, warning signs for Hartlepool.
3 minutes of normal time in this first half left. It's been a fairly even contest, just as that ball onto the right hand side finds Francis, who will run forward. Bit of a tug on the back of his shirt from Sosa. So his attack will halt so far.
Yeah, Sosa does well to get back and guard Jermaine Francis there.
Here's Miley, ball in to try and find Reed, but it's caught by Nathan Ashmore.
A little bit too much on it, just a little bit less on that and it would have found the header Reed, and there was plenty of power on that cross, so he didn't need to generate much. But as it turns out, just goes into the gloves of Nathan Ashmore.
And his long ball will find the head of Norris, who just about flicks it on, but it's one for Cameron John for Hartlepool. Here's Miley, bit of a heavy touch, but he does well to shift that onto the right once again for Francis. Francis in plenty of space to run forward, just onto the edge of the box, into the back post. And it would have found a Matty Daly at the back post, and he just didn't have too much purchase on it. It does go onto the top of the netting of Ashmore's goal. It will be a goal kick.
Yeah,
but once again, all attack going to that right hand side for Francis.
That was a great counter attack from Hartlepool. Boreham would commit men onto pressure in Jamie Miley, who does really well. He does take a bit of a heavy touch. It all came from the tackle from Cameron John, his ball to Miley. He takes a heavy touch, but you can see his quality. He manages to, even with that bad touch, get it out to Jermaine Francis, who's in acres of space wide, and his ball just doesn't have the quality.
As Cartwright has it, forced under pressure to play that one long. Johnson misses the flick, but it's one back into the centre. Here's John, short for McNally. Francis. McNally again. Hartlepool recycling it around their back line. Quine. John, bit of a pass and move play forward with Miley, but it does eventually fall all the way back for Quine again. McNally will put his foot on the ball, trying to find a forward run. Eventually finds it in Johnson. Brilliant hold-up play for Reed now. Reed forced all around to the right hand side, holds it up before giving out to McNally. There's Francis. Ball forward there by Sherrins, won by Boreham Wood. Counter-attacking chance now, they're coming forward, but Hartlepool do well to regroup. But that will be half-time here at the Prestige Group Stadium. 0-0 is the scoreline as both teams head down through the tunnel. And we will be back on in about 15 or so minutes. But as it stands, Hartlepool 0 and Boreham Wood 0. Truro 1, Boston 0, Wealdstone 0 and Rochdale 2, with the late kick-off this evening between Brackley Town and Scunthorpe United yet to be played. Took me a while to get that one out.
Yeah.
And play has resumed. And it is Danny Johnson who looks to try and run on the edge of the box. Shift onto the right-hand side now for Alex Reed. The referee will call it back. It looks like it's a bit of a hand injury.
Yeah.
For, I believe, that is Tom White for Boreham Wood.
Tom White's down, clutching his face, but you can hear the boos around the stadium because it was a very, very promising move from Hartlepool. Alex Reed found himself just out wide inside the box as the whistle got blown. So,
of course, with the regulations, if it's a head injury, play has to stop as soon as possible. And he is still down. There's Tom White.
Yeah, I didn't really see what happened. He was just kind of caught up in a tussle with Danny Johnson. This half started really quickly. Danny Johnson gets into a bit of a tussle with him. He goes down clutching his face, so the ref has to stop play, even though it is an advantageous move for Hartlepool. But it is a promising start from them.
Absolutely, he is back on his feet is Tom White. Must have been a stray arm from Danny Johnson in that tussle, and he will be walked onto the sidelines. So it will be a drop ball just on that right side of, well, now Boreham Wood's box. And it looks like it'll be an uncontested one, of course, for Hartlepool. Jermaine Francis will look to try and collect it when the referee does decide play on. Ball drops for Francis, he tries to cross it in first time at the near post for Miley. Just isn't able to get it through the legs of those Boreham Wood defenders, but it will be kept alive by Jermaine Francis though, who does play that one all the way back to Quone, who looks to try and get that ball back over towards the other defensive line. Met at the halfway line for Sherrin. Norris lets it bounce. Here's Francis now, he's going to reach down that right hand side, he's got plenty of space just to try and turn past Ilisamni. It's Francis, tries to cut in, and he does draw the foul just on the edge of the box from Ilisamni. Lovely bit of footwork from Jermaine Francis to win that foul. And once again, inches away from that line of the box. Very dangerous position for the set piece for Hartlepool.
Yeah, you could see a little bit of trepidation from Ilisamni there. Obviously, you got Francis running at him with loads of space. He doesn't want to get taken on, so he decides he has to lunge in, try and make the challenge. And at the end of the day, he ends up catching Francis and giving Hartlepool a really advantageous free kick here.
And it looks like to be Matty Daly is going to step up to take this set piece. Will it be a shot or a cross? It's in a great position for him if he decides to try his luck. Matty Daly from the free kick. He does try and get the shot off. There's too much power on that one. That sails high over Nathan Ashmore's crossbar. Chris Bush will try and get this goal kick taken. Long ball sent over the top. Met by John, who heads that one forward. Just hangs in the outer halfway line once again. And Miley's battling forward with it off with White. And the referee's deemed that little leg out from Miley was just a bit too much on White, and he does win a foul. Just as Bush looks to try and get that ball over the top to try and find that run of Matt Rush. But that'll go out for a goal kick. Ball fired in by Hartwright. Finds a Boreham Wood shirt in the middle before Rush gets it. King now, space to run forward. Gives it to Abdul Malik. Shit on the right hand side for the run of King. Here's Rush. Abdul Malik again. Looks to try and twist play and past Marley, and he does. Onto the byline. Ball across. Falls for Illa Samni. Pressure from Johnson to force him to put that into the edge of the box. But here's Tom White now, twist and turn onto his right foot, edge of the box, plays it forward now for White once again. Isn't able to get another pass off, so it does fall for Abdul Malik on that wing. Boreham Wood camped inside Hartlepool's box at the moment. Here's King, White. Reynolds, shifted for Abdul Malik again, he looks to try and wriggle past his man. Ball chipped in, headed away by Quine. Still danger for Hartlepool though, need to try and clear their lines. All but one play for Boreham Wood are fully forward in this attack. Here's Abdul Malik again, twist and turn in past John. Before it's eventually cleared away by Miley. And now go out for a throw for Boreham Wood.
Yeah, good passage of play from them, putting plenty of pressure on Hartlepool's back line there. Abdul Malik, again, we pointed him out as a danger man in the first half. He's looking like he started this second half just as sharp. A good chance for Illa Samni there as well, but he was forced to play it back out. Couldn't quite get a shot off.
As Abdul Malik once again has it on the edge, plays it forward to O'Connell, twist and turn, and it falls for Sosa. That's a fantastic block by Jermaine Francis. Someone needed to get across to block it, and it came by the wingette. He looked like he was just trying to curl it into that top right corner. That's a lovely bit of skill by Cameron John to put Tom White on the floor. And here's Sherrin now to run forward. Plays it for Johnson. Held up for Daly. Onto the right hand side for Francis now. Into the box goes Francis. Ball across. And that's just punched away by Ashbourne. It'll go out for a corner for Hartlepool.
Yeah, that was all Jermaine Francis, wasn't it? What an excellent tackle that was in his own box. I mean, we spoke at the beginning about the defensive work that Jermaine Francis has to put in this position. And he did that exceptionally there. He used his pace, he got in front, he made the block. And then he was all the way up at the other end of the pitch for the end of the counter-attack. His ball was just punched away by Nathan Ashmore.
Corner in by Daly into the back post. Evades the head of McNally, and it will be a counter-attack for Boreham Wood now. Rush for run forward. Marley will win it though now. And Hartlepool will come forward in bounds. Ball over the top now for Johnson. Linesman's flag is eventually up just as he gets into a crossing position.
Yeah, not a bad ball from Jamie Miley there. I just think he was a little bit short of options. He kind of ran himself into a cul-de-sac and there wasn't enough in front of him, so he had to play it to Johnson, who did end up being offside.
That short ball back to Ashmore. Reed thought the ball was still in play. Had to try and intercept it. Referee said play didn't yet continue, much to the protest of that far end stand. Long ball over the top, taken down by Norris, who's brought down by Quine, and he does win the free kick. He could be in trouble here, Quine.
He's in trouble here.
Red
it's
card.
A red card for Quogan.
A simple ball over the top, taken by Luke Norris, got on the better side of Quine, and he just tugs the back of his shoulder, and strikers will go down there in that position. Just on the edge of the box, so it won't be a penalty, it's a free kick, but Hartlepool are now reduced to 10 men.
Yeah, he really got caught out there. He was looking for the ball as it was coming down in the air, and it just sailed over his head. Got caught on the wrong side of his man and just did drag him back. And now, obviously, last man has to be sent off.
So, free kick for Boreham Wood.
Yeah, it's a real mountain to climb for Hartlepool now. I mean, we were praising some of their defensive work throughout this game. They've lacked a little bit up front, but they've defended on the whole pretty well, but they're going to have to do that doubly as hard now, given that they're reduced to 10 men with Quogan having to go off.
And we have Jeff King and Chris Bush stepping over for this free kick. And of course, with Hartlepool reduced to 10 men, some would have to come off to fill up that hole at the back, and it will be Danny Johnson to come off, and he'll be replaced by Tom Parks.
Yeah, I would expect a lot more of them long balls now from Hartlepool, trying to catch them on the counter-attack, because they've taken one of their attacking options off. We already said they were a little bit blunt up top so far today, so I would expect them to try and catch Boreham Wood out a bit with Reed, with Francis, with their pace they've got. But it could be a case of playing for the 0-0.
Jeff King, what can he do? He just puts that high, out for a goal kick from that free kick. A real good opportunity there for Boreham Wood, squandered on the set piece. They just didn't find the dip. And with the Hartlepool faithful sensing their players in a bit of a down period, it's absolutely erupted just in front of us. Hartlepool faithful looking to get behind their team.
Yeah, we mentioned the feel-good atmosphere at this stadium before a ball was kicked today, and it really hasn't dwindled, even when we're down to 10 men here. Can't afford to let that spirit go. Got to get behind them. Got to push them to a point at least, possibly even 3 if they can catch out Boreham Wood.
Play stopped for a while before this free kick from Boreham Wood, just inside Hartlepool's half, will commence. Taken short by Reynolds. Abdul Malik, back to Reynolds again, ball forward for Tom White, just isn't able to control it on the hold-up play. Hartlepool, who are committing all men behind the ball now, as you can imagine, just unable to really break free. Here's Jeff King, lovely twist and turn, and tries to get a shot on for about 30 yards out was that strike, and it goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, I'll expect a lot of trying to pepper into the Hartlepool goal from Boreham Wood right now. They are buoyed, they're a bit G'd up, obviously they're playing against 10 men now, they feel they've got the advantage. They've probably, on balance, looked the more dangerous of the two sides anyway so far this afternoon, so you would expect them to be very, very up for this, trying to get that goal, trying to not waste a good opportunity as they'll see it to snatch 3 points from the stadium today.
Cartwright sends that one long. Headed forward by a Boreham Wood shirt, held up by White. Here's O'Connell. Tom White on the halfway line, will try and get that ball forward. Under no contest from the back line. Here's Abdul Malik, looks to try and run forward once again, twisting and turning, showing his flair on the edge of the box. Held up by Norris, back to Abdul Malik again. Wriggles free, and once again tries another shot from a difficult angle.
Yeah.
And now once again go out for another goal kick, but once again Boreham Wood more than happy to try and test their luck from a few yards out.
They just can't keep it down, can they? Every single shot they've had has gone over the bar. If they just keep it down a little bit, they'll be testing Harvey Cartwright a little bit more. But as it stands, their shooting has been way off, so Hartlepool are getting away with one a little bit here.
As Cartwright gets that Goal kick taken. One in the air by O'Connell for Boreham. He once again looks to try and flick it across. Here's White. Ilisamni finds Sosa in a pocket. He eventually passes that backwards towards White. O'Connell. Shits onto the right hand side now. Here's King. A little bit of a step over before it plays it back into the centre of the pitch for O'Connell. White. Boreham camping far inside Hartlepool's half once again now. As Jermaine Francis is able to get a foul. He's done well to nick the ball off of Erica Sosa.
Yeah, that was good defensive work from Jermaine Francis. We've said so far today he's been pretty good when he's been called upon defensively, and he proved it again just there. Making sure, of course, Erica Sosa couldn't get away from him and get him to a position of danger for Boreham Wood.
Cartwright with the long ball, trying to find Reid. He's battling forward with Bush. It does come off the head of Reid. He seems to have had too much on the shoulders of Bush, and that'll be a free kick. Much of the protest. Here's King on the right hand side now. Played all the way back now to the Boreham Wood keeper in Ashmore. Brilliant play there from Cameron John just to win the ball back off of Matt Rush. Here's Reid, first time ball onto the left for John now. Can Hartlepool commit them forward? Here's Miley. Runs forward. Just takes a bit of a slip there, does Miley, and he tries to get the shot off. Or I believe that's ball out to the right hand side, but just takes a block off of O'Connell. And here's Abdul Malik in a bit of space once again. Edge of the box, played out to Norris, who's free inside the pocket. It's Luke Norris again, and his shot's blocked there by Cameron John. Brilliant block from the defender to get across, and Luke Norris in a dangerous position to get that shot off. Yeah,
good play there by Cameron John, and starting that attack for Hartlepool as well. But you can see the kind of constrictions you've got with 10 men. When Reid flicks it onto him, he really has to come back because he's got no one in front of him to pass it. So will Hartlepool maybe commit more men forward, try and get that goal and walk away with 3 points, or are they going to play it a bit safer?
Just as Jeff King has it on the right hand side now. Tom White once again finding their danger man, and Abdul Malik now on the edge of the box. He's got Sosa in support on the left, and he does use him. Back in for O'Connell on the edge, back to Abdul Malik. Twist and turn in, he's just creeped into the box now under a lot of pressure from Francis. Gives it to Sosa. Here's White. Hartlepool doing well to force that ball backwards. And here's Sosa again. Boreham Wood pacing, playing it around the back. And here's King, twist and turning forward. In for Sosa. King again. King found lots of time on the ball on the edge of the box here. Gives it into Sosa, who finds a free pocket. Here's Norris. Great stop by Cartwright.
Yeah, good save with his feet there. It was again just at him, but he had to be there.
Once again, Boreham Wood using that one-man advantage to their benefit. Fantastic play from Luke Norris to find that space in that crowded box. It was a low shot, but didn't really have any height on the ball, and it was travelling to that near post of Cartwright. He was able to get down and get a foot across. Just as another substitution for Hartlepool now, Jermaine Francis coming off in replacement of Luke Sharman.
Yeah, he's had a good game as Francis.
Also going off, number 18, Jamie Miley. This is replacement number 38, Brad Walker.
And Brad Walker coming on. He'll be replacing Miley. games.
It was actually 20 years, Matty Daly.
There's a miscommunication there from the stadium announcer. And just to correct the substitution, it was Matty Daly who came off. He was replaced by Brad Walker. Xiaomi putting trust on the announcer. As Boreham would look to try and play around their back line.
Yeah, they know they can do this as well because of the man advantage they've got. You still see Alex Reid absolutely busting a gut out there, pressing the keeper. But again, when you press, you really need to press as a team. Otherwise, they can just play through you. And with the man down, that's going to be quite hard for Hartlepool to do. So they're just going to probably have to try and keep Boreham Wood out and try and catch them on the counter-attack. And they might do it here.
Here's Luke Charman, he's running forward. Just isn't able to get the afterburners on, and he is forced to hold it up. Eventually finds a pocket to run forward, though. It's still Luke Charman. He's taken down by O'Connell.
They're not happy with that.
They really are. I can see why. It was just a tug on the back of his shirt, and he went down.
Yeah.
He had a complete open space to run into if he managed to stay on his feet.
Yeah, and you could even argue that a tug on the shirt, that's exactly what Quogan did, and he got sent off for it. And now I know he was last man, but seemed like the same kind of contact. So if it was a foul there, why is it not a foul here?
And here's Abdul Malik now on the edge of the box of Boreham Wood. He finds Sosa, just forced to run out of the box though. Here's White. Abdul Malik, forward ball cleared away by Parks. No nonsense defending there, but it's won straight back again by Boreham Wood. Great tackle from Charman, and there's a bit of space now for Marley to run into. O'Connell's hounding him, but he manages to wriggle free. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. Lyons just flags up. Great determination from Miley though.
Yeah, I think that's what Hartlepool are going to have to do to potentially snatch a goal and win this. A rare foray forward now that they're a man down, but they did manage to get a 3-on-3 situation on the counter-attack there. Balance the numbers out a bit, maybe give themselves a chance of scoring. It was great work from Miley, just unfortunately couldn't quite keep it in between the lines.
Ball sent over the top by Topolage, trying to find Reid. Into the box now is Reid. Shouts of handball off the push.
I don't know about that one.
Something in that. Referee waves play on now, and Boreham Wood will look to try and build an attack now. Here's Ilasamni.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear what the stadium thought of that as well.
Once again now by Parks. Baylor Samney's free down that left hand side. Low ball into the box. Cleared away by John, only as far as Abdul Malik though. Here's Sosa. Finds White. Abdul Malik once again looking to try and twist and turn into the box now. Looks to try and chip the ball into that back post for Norris. That's a great catch by Hart Cartwright.
Yeah, and top of line putting Norris under plenty of pressure there. Couldn't quite get enough purchase on that header. A bit similar to Sosa's earlier. Couldn't generate the power, just looped into the hands of Harvey Cartwright.
Here's Ilasamni. Gives it to Tom White on the edge. Play shifted onto the right hand side for Jeff King. He's got plenty of space to whip one in. He does find it for Luke Norris once again. He was free inside the box, but his header once again going wide. But Hartlepool just aren't able to find any sort of rhythm. Of course, down to 10 men. And Luke Norris more than happy to exploit that. He's finding a lot of open pockets at the back inside the box. Prestige Group Stadium has erupted in these last few minutes. Everyone trying to cheer, pulls on. Of course, they need to dig deep to try and get something out of this game. It's still 0-0. Boreham coming forward in bounds. Just the ball hangs in the air now for Reed. Forward for Charman, who's taken down and goes for a free kick. For a set piece here.
Yeah,
just halfway into Boreham half.
Boreham made an attacking or midfield substitution there as well, with Rush coming off for Brunt. So maybe trying to shore up that midfield. There have been spells now by Hartlepool, even though they are a man down, that might worry Boreham Wood.
Boreham Wood player is still down. As we approach into the last 20 minutes of the game, it's taken some great defender from Hartlepool to keep this scoreline to 0-0 under a lot of pressure from Boreham Wood, as we've said already. Some resolute defending, it's safe to say. It'll be a hard test against this Boreham Wood side. We know how Luke Garrard's side like to set themselves up, especially away from home. Seems to be the same game plan from himself. Take something special from Hartlepool though to try and nick something from this game possibly. It will be a set piece.
Yeah, it gives them a chance, honestly. I have said they might need to catch them out on the counter-attack to manage to even out the numbers, but a set piece in a position like this gives them the opportunity to get forward.
Taken by Walker, finds Miley on the right, back to Walker again. Played all the way back now for Cameron John, who looks to try and send this ball into the box now. Here's Parks, heads that one forward, headed away by Bush, kept alive by Sherrin, onto the right hand side for Charman. Still has it, does Charman. Shot deflected. Kept alive by Parks again though, punched away by Ashmore. And Abdul Malik will look to try and set up a counter attack for his side. He sends that one long.
Yeah, Charman just couldn't quite get the shot away there. Could only fire into some Boreham Wood bodies.
Here's Abdul Malik now, up the other end, into the box now. Ball across the face of goal. Eventually it's blocked and it's cleared away. And John will hoof that one up the pitch. Taken down by Charman, who will look to try and wriggle free. Samney gets across the tackle, nicked away by Reed. Back to Charman again, he's in plenty of space to run forward. Charman. Pushing out to the box. Referee sees nothing in that one, and it'll be another attack now for Boreham Wood.
He just gets it stuck under his feet. Charman just can't quite get a hold of it properly. And then Chris Bush slides in. Kind of messy, honestly, but still, according to the referee, manages to get enough of the ball to get it away from Charman and away for Boreham Wood.
And here's McNally, who just clears that one out for a throw-in. Looks like they get substitutions for the visitors. Here's Posh, Samney. Ashmore. Short ball for his defender. O'Connell Turns, gives it out to the left to Malik. Sousa twisting and turning down that left hand side, plays it forward. In now for Zach Brunt, onto the right hand side for King. Shot taken, and it took a deflection off of John, and it just goes high and out for a corner.
Yeah, dangerous there for Boreham Woods, getting themselves to another set piece. I'm not sure how much danger would have come in that shot. It looked like it was going straight towards Harvey Cartwright, but takes a deflection on the way there anyway, taking it over the bar.
Corner for Boreham Wood. Corner fired into the back post. Eventually just trails all the way out, and John will clear that one out of play for a throw-in. Taken quickly by Brunt. Here's White. Brunt again. White and Brunt combining down that left-hand side before eventually White runs into the centre. Here's Norris, holds the ball up on the edge of the box, taken down by Brad Walker, and he will win a free kick. The two former Tranmere players combining. Free kick in a really dangerous area for Boreham Wood now. Looks like it'll be Jeff King to take it. Just about 25 yards out, I'd say. He looks like he'll try and take a shot here, Jeff King. He leaves it instead for Bush now. He does take the free kick instead. And just a bit less power, and that would have dipped in. But as it stands, that goes out for a goal kick.
Substitution for Boreham Wood, going off number 15, Jeff King. His placement number 2, Cameron Cox.
Of course, as you might have heard there, substitution, Jeff King off for Cox. And a surprise substitution there for Boreham Wood with their seemingly best player on the day so far, Abdul Malik, off the pitch.
Yeah, I can only imagine it's a bit of fatigue from him. He has been everywhere, like we've been saying. But again, I can't imagine that's a tactical change. He has been amazing for Boreham Wood, it's fair to say.
Ball speared in by McNally. Bush heads it away before Connell clears. The battle there between Parks and Luke Norris, still battling. Before eventually the referee pulls that one back for a foul. It seems like Tom Parks had too much of Luke Norris's shirt.
Yeah, he just kind of dragged him back there. Bit of a tactical foul, I think. Didn't quite want Boreham Wood to get on the break, because they would have been in a really, really dangerous position.
Here's Brunt onto the right hand side. Here's Reynolds now. Ball shifted onto that right hand side. Cameron Cox traps the ball on his foot before playing it back to his defender. Ball into the centre for Brunt, and I'll go out for a Boreham Wood throw. And took a bit of a touch there off of the boot of Cameron John.
Today's match attendance, 3,612. Bulls fans, thank you for your support. And to the 39 Boreham Wood fans that made the journey.
Of course, as you might have heard, that match attendance today was 3,612.
Official state trip back in the match.
And those 3,000 Hartlepool fans have definitely made themselves known in this game. especially down to our left-hand side. We've heard nothing but the bang of that drum. Trying to spark some energy into their side at the moment, who will need all the support that they can get.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had passages where they've looked really good, really energetic, but they will need it to really spark if they're to get a goal out of this.
And of course you can now vote for your man of the match via the official Hartlepool United app, via the App Store and Google Play, so be sure to get onto it and vote for your man of the match. McNally all over the top, trying to test Bush. Alex Reid does well to try and put his body into him to win it. One back by Troman inside the box. Once again though, runs forward. And that was a proper,
sure about that one.
That was a proper defensive win of a foul there by, I believe, Tom White. Troman just had too much of a heavy touch, and he just presses into the back of White, he just goes down. Defender's always going to do that in that position. And here's Brunt on the left-hand side, looks to try and cut into the middle. It's still Brunt now. Here's Cox. Shifted play onto to Sousset, tries to chip it in. Hartlepool do well to head the ball away so far. Claydon unable to get his ball into the centre of the pitch. He'll take a touch off of Parks and back off Claydon again, not for a Hartlepool goal kick.
Substitution for Hartlepool United this time, number 18, Jamie Miley.
And Miley now come off the pitch.
Number 15, Jack Hunter.
As you might have heard there, Jack Hunter. Cartwright will now be able to take his goal kick. To try and find Reid. Charman gets onto the flick, onto the right hand side, halfway inside Boreham Wood's own half now. Brad Walker lays it for Sherrin. Lovely little ball forward for Charman to get onto. Here's Sherrin, looks to try and cross that ball into the back post. Here's Topolage! Oh. And that's a fantastic stop by Ashmore.
What a save from Ashmore. What a goal that would have been from Topolage, by the way. Just arriving in at that back post.
A dinked ball into that back post from Sherrin. It found Topolage, she was free. He put his laces through it. And Ashmore did well to get across and save it. Hartlepool finding a lot of luck in these last 5 minutes though.
Yeah, I mean earlier we mentioned before he came off the attacking and defensive qualities of Jermaine Francis, but we saw his opposite number Topolage do it right there, getting forward, getting right into that box, meeting Sherrin's cross. Unfortunately he couldn't make it happen due to a brilliant save by Ashmore.
Ball whipped in by Walker into that back post, evades the header of Park, and that'll be sent long by Sosa. One back again by Hartlepool though, by Brad Walker. He does really well to intercept and play that one all the way back to Cartwright, who will clear his lines and tries to find Alex Reid. He'll be in a bit of an aerial duel here, Villasamni, and it is the latter who wins it, but it's sent back over the top by Parks. But Bush under a bit of pressure before finding O'Connell. And here's Cox. Sosa back to Cox again. Reynolds plays it to his defensive partner in Charlie Bush. Splitting ball down at left-hand side for Illisamni now. That's a great sliding tackle by Rhys McNally. Done well to show his pace, get across and put that tackle in.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the pitch now, you can see what Hartlepool's game plan is. They've got 9 of their 10 outfielders, 8 of their now 10 outfielders all the way back, and just a couple of men kind of around the back line of Boreham Wood. No real connection between the two. The man up front is often Alex Reid.
Bush throws it in and it's headed away by Tom Parks, who sends that header into the stratosphere, I believe, out of the stadium. The header there from Tom Parks.
Yeah, he got some power on that, didn't he? Right over the roof.
Here's Brunt. Plays it short for Claydon, who tries to whip one in, takes a block off of Hunter. And now once again go out for another corner for Boreham Wood. The referee will stop the play of this corner to speak to the huddle in the middle. Couple pushes and shoves. As you can imagine, such a crucial moment of this game. 5 minutes left of additional time. Or normal time even, sorry. And Brunt will try and take this corner. It'll be an in-swinger. Plays it short instead for Claydon. All the way out for Cox. Edge of the box. Brunt looks to try and fire in this time. Headed away by Parks. And they'll go out for another corner on the opposing end for Boreham Wood. Corner taken short. Here's Brunt. Claydon. Brunt again. Chipped into the back post. Headed across. And just couldn't find the Boreham Wood shirt, but the referee's flag for offside. Dangerous chance once again into the box from Hartlepool's defence, just not able to deal with it. Cartwright with a driven goal kick there. Just hangs wayward onto that right hand side for Cox, and now chase forward. Boreham Wood committing men to this attack. Sousa tries to play it forward for Cox again. And Hartlepool will win a foul. Bit of a 50-50 between Cox and I believe it was Sharon as well. Hartlepool committing all men forward for this set piece as Cartwright will take it.
Yeah, they're all crowding along that one side of the pitch, aren't they? You can see what they're doing. Obviously, they're a man down, trying to get as many bodies as one area as possible.
Ball in the air, misses the head of Reid. Sent over the top this time by Brad Walker though. Bush under a lot of pressure to head that one forward. Here's Cox. And Sherrin puts both hands onto his back and he goes down for a free kick. Taken quickly now, and here's Brunt. Boreham would have the ball within their own half, passing it around. Recycling possession. Here's Bush. Onto the halfway line. Ball chipped onto that right hand side. Met by Topolage. Heads that one forward and out. And about 1 minute time, we'll find out how much extra time will be allocated.
Yeah, we've had a few injuries, a few people go down, quite a few set pieces, as you've seen. So I'd guess a little bit.
Attack found by Boreham Wood now. Here's Brunt inside the box. He twists and turns. Can he get it away?
Oh.
That's fantastic tackling from Reece McNally.
Excellent.
Doesn't let him
Reece
breathe.
McNally.
Doesn't let him breathe inside the box.
You wouldn't know they were a man down looking at that defending.
Claydon just wasn't able to get his shot. He was twisting and turning. McNally just absolutely smothers him and eventually he clears it away. As Ashmore sends that one high over the top again. 9 minutes of extra time.
I told you there'd be a little bit. 9 minutes. That's a long old storm to weather.
But here comes Hartlepool up to the other end. First time ball in from Reid, goes out. Topolage will take the throw in. Taken quickly for Reid inside the box. Cleared away by Bush. Just felt him in a good position. Edge wasn't able to control it.
Yeah, unlucky there. I do think Bush has done a pretty good job of marshalling Reid so far this game.
Here's Claydon. He found the ball all up to the end of the pitch. The linesman flags up for offside. And I believe this will be a very nervy last 8 minutes.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Not many nerves in the stadium here, though.
Absolutely. They've well and truly tried to help their team out of the Hartlepool faithful. Ball flicked on by Sousa. Won back by Hartlepool though. Ball forward for Reid in the final third. Plays it forward for Luke Charman. He's twisting and turning. Still Charman. Charman in the crossing position. Onto his right foot. Plays it across.
Oh.
And it just evades the foot of Sherrin. He found the ball inside the box. Just wasn't able to get the shot off. But it's still a throw-in. Halfway inside Boreham Woods. Half an hour for Hartlepool.
Great work from Charman there. Twisting and turning. Gets away from his man. He pulls the ball back. It's just a little bit too far back for Sherrin to get over it.
And here's Charman inside the box. He's taken down. But the referee gives a foul for the other way. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, really. But I think in those sorts of positions, the referee will favour the defender. But of course, today's man of the match was given to Harvey Cartwright. It's been a great display in goal from him. In on loan from Hull. And he's definitely made himself present between the sticks of Hartlepool so far this season.
Yeah, I think he's had a really good game. Saved a couple of important shots. Made a really good save. Good save with his feet when Hartlepool went to 10 men. Instrumental in keeping them in it, really.
Just as Cameron John's able to intercept the ball forward from Charlie Bush. Here's Ashmore. Plays a short ball under a lot of pressure from Hartlepool though. Sherrin tackles him.
Oh.
Once again, it's another foul conceded.
Yeah, and Ashmore's pushing his team up, literally pushing his defender off of the ball for the free kick. They're desperate to get the goal just as much as Hartlepool are. They'll feel it's an opportunity wasted against 10 men if they don't get something out of this.
It comes to the territory of the very aggressive press that Hartlepool have decided to use. I could see a lot of fouls from it. And here's Brunt now on that right hand side. Sosa. Cox. Ball whipped in. Everyone inside the box sort of lets that one bounce before eventually it's caught. And it will be cleared over the top for Reid, who plays it forward. In for Charman, and he will win a foul. And O'Connell will go into the referee's book for that one. Completely stopping the counter-attack. I think he'll be happy to take that yellow card up.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want if you're Boreham Wood, really. Playing against 10 men, getting caught on a counter-attack and going 1-0 down and losing the day. A really sour taste that would leave in the mouth.
94 minutes played of this game. Roughly about 5 minutes left to go as it stands. And both teams desperate to try and find an opener. Here's Cameron John. Sends that one for Reed, who tries to get the flick on. Won by Bush instead, though. Finds Sharon, who intercepts. Walker. McNally. Dispossessed by Claydon. And Bush will look to try and play this one out of danger. Cox concedes a great tackle.
That looked like a great tackle, really.
It was Cox who grabbed the ball, and Hunter seemingly won the ball on the tackle just on the halfway line, but the referee...
Yeah, you can hear what the stadium thinks of that. I thought that was a great tackle by Hunter personally. And you can see how desperate Boreham Wood are now. They've got their goalkeeper taking the free kick on the halfway line. They are really going to go for it.
And Simon Grayson got onto the referee's book there, complaining about his decision. Here's Ashmore to send this one forward. Everyone's fall for Boreham now.
Weak header from O'Connell.
Well, eventually Cartwright's able to collect that one, and down he goes. Shawman unable to win that long ball, and Brunt will shift that onto the right hand side for Cox, who's got space to drive forward into. Here's Sosa into the middle of the pitch. Brunt, edge of the box. Cox once again looks to try and spear it in.
Oh, what a tremendous tackle that is from McNally.
And it's cleared away.
Just picking it off the toes of Arico Souza. Some more tremendous last-ditch defending from the Hartlepool back line there. And I don't think, coming away from the stadium today, too many people will have many bad things to say about the Hartlepool defence. Absolutely worked their socks off since going 10 men down.
Real stubborn defensive display since going a man down from Hartlepool. And that's sort of been the pinpoint of this Hartlepool side since Simon Grayson came in, especially the signs that they've made as well. They've been excellent at the back. As Cartwright sends this one long. O'Connell's able to head that one forward, headed back by... Oh, it's all the way forward to Cartwright. Who will look to try and send this one long again. Under a lot of pressure there. There's this Boreham Wood back line, a high press from Hartlepool, just able to shift onto that right hand side though. And Cox will break forward. Plays it backwards instead. Brunt. Ball crossed in. Found Junior Dixon, but it's just headed away. And knock on for a goal kick. 98 minutes played. Approaching into these last few moments of this game. And you can't fault the Hartlepool backline.
Looks like this may be their last chance to grab something from the game. I expect a big kick from Cartwright here, but will there even be time for an attack?
Referee's looking at his watch. Cartwright, ball over the top, met by Cox, heads into the centre.
And that's it.
And that will be full time here at the Prestige Group Stadium. Fantastic defensive display from Hartlepool. Down to 10 men. Able to grind out a point, and that does mean that Hartlepool's unbeaten streak so far in this league campaign remains intact, but neither side able to find an opening. Full time here between Hartlepool and Boreham Wood, and it's 0-0.
Hartlepool.